to the one-on-ones here on the Dad and Daughter podcast channel. I'm Dad, and let's have a bit of good news for a change. This young lady right here, you see in front of you. Let me get. There we go. This young lady right here in front of you is a good example of how do I want to put this? If you work for something all your life, you want to work towards something, don't give up because everybody else has. Okay? Don't. It'll just ruin you later in life. Trust me. Yeah, my coffee's probably cold. Excuse me one moment. Yep, coffee's cold. But on to this good news. Okay. The headline: her entire squad quit before the state cheerleading competition. She cheered anyway. At the time of this recording, this story's probably been out for at least a good week now. I just have not been able to find time to sit down and cover this. As the article reads, cheerleading is supposed to be a team activity. Most squads have anywhere from 10 to 20 cheerleaders, and some have even more than that. But one Scott, yeah, this young girl is the only one that can get after me for mispronouncing that word. So we'll go from there. But one squad in Nebraska had just 4 girls. Okay, 4 girls. And less than 2 weeks before the Nebraska State Cheer and Dance Championships, all but one cheerleader had quit. Now, yes, I did thumb through this article, but I do not know why, or it may not have said why the other 3 cheerleaders had quit. So I couldn't tell you. Most kids would have followed suit so close to yeah. Stop, rewind, play. Let's do that again. Most kids would have followed suit so close to a big competition and without teammates. But Katrina Cole, or at least I'm not how I'm going to pronounce it, is going to be Cole, a senior at Morill, I hope, high school, decided she was still going to compete, even if it meant she would have to do it alone. Talk about being brave in the face of disappointment. This girl decided she was going to cheer in the competition, and she did, without much care for what others thought. Okay, before we continue, that is courage right there, okay? Brave, courage, anything you want to say. Okay? And as we get further into this article, you'll find out why I say my hat's off to this young lady. The competition wasn't just the next town over, it was 5 hours away. So Cole and her coach, April Ott, really had to mull it over before committing to make that drive, according to the Business Insider. In the end, the team decided that she didn't want to just sit in the crowd or stay home. She wanted to perform the routine she spent so much time learning. But the routine required the entire squad, so before they could make the trip, they had to figure out how to make it a one person routine. I mean, yeah, you spend your own time, however, how long. Uh, you so much time is, defined differently by everybody depending on what they do, right? So I don't know how long it took for Cole here to learn this routine, how long her and the squad has been working on it. But I have my hats have to be off to her. She wanted to do this by herself, and it's good that they were figuring out how to make it a one person routine. So, like I said, that's courage. I've put a lot of time into this cheer. It's just always been a part of who I am. So I don't want to end on that note. I wanted to go out on a high note. For that to come true, I didn't want to end it just by going to watch state. I wanted to compete. Cole told Business Insider. So the lone cheerleader and her coach got to work redoing the routine so it made sense with just one person cheering. And I don't think it says. Oh, yep, it's right here. I was trying to figure out how long they had to do that. And I was like, oh no, I forgot, but it says right here. The pair told the Omaha World Herald that they had to rework the whole performance in a week and a half. It was really a battle to Sorry about that. It was really a battle of sheer will since Cole was determined to do her best on the mat without her team. Cole admitted to the outlet that she was nervous. Of course, you're going to be nervous. It's not something that you're going to have a clear head and, no one's going to bother you. Your nerves are calm. You're going to be nervous. But no one would have known it. She was completely confident the whole week that we practiced, Ott told Business Insider. It was just 100% confidence, and she just owned it. There you go. You work for something. Everyone else calls it quits, but you want to keep going. You do you. Okay, this is good. That's bravery. This is confidence. Whatever. This cheerleader was absolutely unstoppable, and she had her family's full support. Even Ott's daughter, who was previously a cheerleader at the same school, tagged along to cheer her on. Cole's grandparents stood in for her parents because her brother had a state wrestling tournament and her parents are the coaches. But don't worry, they were able to see her cheer through Facebook Live. Well, at least they still got to see her cheer. I mean, of course, if you're coaches and you're needed elsewhere, what are you going to do? But the support didn't only come from her family and coach. As other cheerleaders piled into her section and cheered for the brave solo cheerleader. Darren Boysen, executive director of the, and I do hope I pronounced that name correctly, executive director for the Nebraska Coaches Association, told the Omaha World Herald that this was the first time a cheerleader competed alone. Now, before I read on, I'm pretty sure you guys are already seeing that. But she didn't just compete. She placed eighth out of 12 squads, which is the highest Morrill High School has placed in the last 3 years. Eighth place, folks, by herself. Tell me she didn't have that much confidence. She was brave, confident. She went out and she nailed it. She took eighth place for her school by herself. And between you, me, and this here phone I'm holding in my hand at the present moment, she can go back to the squad that quit, and you know what? Instead of me finishing that sentence, this young girl just earned by herself bragging rights by herself. Okay, that's what she deserves. Bragging rights right there. It's almost overwhelming the amount of support I got from all of them, Cole explained to the Business Insider. The whole arena was cheering me on. It wasn't just one little section, it was the whole arena. Is that the end of it? Yep. It looks like the end. But yeah, eighth place all by herself. What was her first name again? I'm sorry. Let me go back and find her first name. Katrina. Okay. Katrina tore it up like a hurricane, placed eighth for her school. Sorry if you didn't hear me on that one. But tore it up like a hurricane, eighth place for her school, all by herself. Confidence, bravery, and like I said, most of all, she's got bragging rights. She deserves bragging rights. And I hope she gets it. But for another story, I want to know how the teammates felt after that, because they quit, they didn't want to do it. I want to know how they feel now. But my hat's off to Katrina here. Bragging rights for years, okay? Years. Okay, have a picture of her in the school. Headline: eighth place by myself. Okay, here's the headline for that. Eighth place by myself. No one else can do that. This young lady deserves bragging rights, bravery, compassion for what she does. Okay. Confidence. That was the word I was looking for as well. But yes, in my book, she has all the bragging rights in the world for that. So, with all this being said, this was actually a bit of good news. And I will be honest, it brought a tear to my eye when I was first reading it. So, if you're brave, you're confident, it may not be cheerleading, okay? It may not be any sport. But if you're brave and confident in what you do, just think of what you can accomplish, okay? And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in another video. So please take care of yourself. I'm out. Peace.